Hello dear student. So today I am going to discuss about linear programming and operation research. As you already know the scope and the future of operation research. So today we will be dealing about the linear programming. So let me define you what is linear programming and why is it called linear programming and what is the content of this. So let me define. So linear programming, basically linear means linear programming is a mathematical modeling technique useful for the allocation of scarce or limited resources such as labor, material, machine, time, warehouse space, etc. to several completing activities such as product, service or job, new equipments, project, etc. on the basis of a given criteria of optimality. Okay. So linear programming means the objective function and as well as constraints are linear function of variable. Objective function z is x1 comma x2 is a linear function like z equals to 2x1 plus 3x2 and so on. This is linear. And as well as the constraint is also linear, like 2x1 plus 3x2 less than equals to 9 or 4x1 plus 5x2 are greater than equals to 10. So where all the constraints are linear type, then the programming problem, optimization problem is known as linear programming problem. Okay, so is it clear to all of you what is linear programming, where objective function as well as the constraints are linear functions of the variables? Okay, let me move ahead. So a mathematical technique used to obtain an optimal solution in resource allocation, a problem such as production planning. So it is a mathematical model or technique for efficient and effective utilization of limited resources to achieve organizational objective such as maximization of profit and minimization of cost. So when we try to solve using linear programming problem, the program is put into a number of linear inequality and then the attempt is made to maximize or minimize the input. So to solve linear programming problem, we have so many methods, and for the large number of variables we like to use various kinds of software for the optimization type. So the question, what are various requirements? So what are various requirements for this? So these are the requirements. There must be a well-defined objective function. Obviously you have to define a objective function which will contain variables, means linear variable, and there must be a constraint on the account. We also know that optimization problem most of the time has constraint if the problem is of is not unconstrained optimization. So there must be alternative course of action. Obviously what we need to do, we should have the decision variable should be interrelated and non-negative. Obviously each of the variables should be interrelated, means the one variable is related to another one and it should be non-negative, because it makes no sense. Suppose we are producing 5 units, so we can't say that we are producing minus 5 units, so it should be non-negative. And the last requirement, the resource must be limited in supply. Obviously when you are putting a constraint, it should be limited. only then you can solve. If you will be having infinite, the problem cannot be solved by any of the methods. So these are the requirements of a linear programming problem. Okay, so let me move ahead to the assumptions. So what are various assumptions? The first assumption is proportionality. What do you understand by the proportionality? Means if the objective function is like this, z equals to 3x1 plus 3x2, means it is proportionally, it's a multiplication of 3, so this is proportional. So it will be the multiplication of a constant with the variable, so this is known as the proportionality assumption. Okay, additive, obviously here you can see 3x1 plus 3x2, we can add the two values. Let's say x1 is the number of unit of the product to be sold and z is the profit. So if we are making two product, x1 and x2, and two product A and B with the quantity x1 and x2, so we can say if the product A is having profit of rupees 3 and also B also having product profit of rupees 3, then the total profit will be the profit from product A and the product from profit B. So when we want to calculate the total profit, it should be additive in nature in the linear programming problem. Continuity, obviously every function should be continued, it should not be breakable. Certainty, okay, so obviously in the optimization problem there should be some kind of certainty. And obviously finite choice, when we are going to have the solution for various variables, the finite should be the choices should be finite, it should not be infinite choices. Okay, this was it. Now coming to the next, what are the various applications of linear programming problem? First one is business. Obviously in business we have a lot of problem where linear programming plays an important role. For example, if we are going to make mixtures, let's say alloy mixtures, then we have a limited supply, then we want to know that how much unit of alloy 1 and 2 should be produced to make a profit of a desired quantity. Okay, so in the business as well, in the business we can use in the product mix problem, and you will find so many problem. Budget allocation, you can use the linear programming problem in budget allocation. Okay, obviously in industry we have so many applications. For example, transportation, suppose we want to supply raw material from one source to various destination, then we can use it in industry. Military, obviously how many materials should be sent for the war, and how many war tanks should be stored, and what should be the inventory. So these all kinds of can be formulated as the linear programming problem. Okay, in the economics as well, it plays an important role. Obviously in the marketing, when we will go to the dynamic programming, you will see how these methods are very important in this, and obviously in the distribution. So these are the various application of the linear programming problem. Okay, so this is it. Now what are various areas of application of linear programming problem? So here you can see industrial application, you have product mix problem, already discussed, blending problem, production scheduling problem. Suppose we want to schedule the product, assembling line balancing, and make or buy decision, these all come under industrial application, and you will be having so many examples of linear programming problem based on these given topics. Okay, now management application,
So in the media selection problem, suppose we want to know that how many of the how much money has to be spent on the various kinds of media, advertising media. Let's say we are having newspaper, we are having TV and radio. So we want to know how much rupees should be spent so that we can maximize our sale. So it will be dealing with the media selection problem, portfolio selection problem, then profit planning problem, transportation problem. These are management applications. And also, apart from industrial and management application, we have miscellaneous application like diet problems, okay, agriculture problem, flight scheduling problem, and facility location problem. These are also various applications of linear programming, okay, and these are the areas of application of linear programming, okay. So let me move ahead. Now, what are various advantages of linear programming problem? So here you can see it helps in attaining optimum use of productive factor. Obviously, the best example of this is the Japan, where we are having the limited resources, and Japanese know how to effectively use the limited resources. That's why the Japan has become number one in the automobile sector. He has used so many techniques, right? So this is also one of the technique where we can save the material using the optimization. So this is one advantage. This is the biggest advantage of this linear programming. It can attain optimum use of productive factor, and it improves the quality of decision. Obviously, when you are going to try the best solution, obviously the quality will be improved for the decision, and it provides a better tool for meeting the changing conditions. Suppose there is a sudden change in the market, then we can do the sensitivity analysis, or we can do the dynamic programming, okay, so or parametric programming. So you will study this later on. So it can provide better tools for meeting the changing conditions, and it highlights the bottleneck in the production process. Obviously, this is the most important thing to reduce the bottleneck. So using linear problem, we can find out what are various bottleneck operation, and you can eliminate those bottleneck operation to increase the efficiency and effectiveness of your production system, okay. So there are various kinds of important definitions that I am going to cover right away, okay. So first one is solution. So what is solution? Okay, as you already know, a sort of variable x1 comma x2 up to xn plus is called solution of linear programming if it satisfies its constraints. All the set of variables which satisfy the constraints. A set of variables which satisfy the constraints is known as the solution of the linear programming problem. Okay, listen here, we are saying the set of variables which are only satisfying the constraint condition, all the constraint condition, then this is known as solution. Now this is one feasible solution. So what is feasible solution? A set of variable which is called feasible solution to the linear programming if it satisfies constraint as well as non-negative condition. So in this, if we consider only non-negative variables, then this become feasible solution. Now optimal feasible solution. What is optimal feasible solution? The basic feasible solution that optimize the objective function. So out of these, those variable which tries to maximize or minimize, or we can say optimize the objective function, are known as optimal feasible solution. Now the basic the basic feasible solution that optimize the objective function. Okay, now we have various cases here. Unbounded solution. So if the value of the objective function can be increased or decreased indefinitely, the solution is called unbounded. When the feasible region is approaching to the infinity, then this is known as unbounded solution. So is it clear? So what are the various variables used in linear programming problem? One is slack variable. Okay, let me discuss what is slack variable. So suppose if there is a kind of constraint like this, two x1 plus 3x2 is less than equal to 5. Okay, so this is the constraint. So what is slack variable? As you can see here, the left hand side is less than equals to right hand side. So we want to equate both the side. So there should be few quantity which should be in the left hand side. There is a need to add something here so that it becomes equal to the right hand side. So here in the left hand side constraint, I mean to say, if the constraint is less than equals to type, then when we add something to equate the equation is known as slack variables. So always remember, slack variables come in less than type of constraint. Okay, now moving back to the next one. Now the second one is surplus variable. So as the slack variable is coming into the picture when the constraint is less than type, surplus variable will come into the picture when the constraint is greater than equal to type. Let's say the constraint is something like this: 5x1 plus 3x2 is greater than 4, greater than equals to 4, let's say. So we want to equate it. So here right hand side is greater than, here right hand side is greater than left hand side. Sorry, left hand side is greater than right hand side. Okay, so what we need to do, we have to subtract something in the left hand side so that they become equal. So we can say 5x1 plus 3x2 minus, let's say, s1 equals to 4. So here we have subtracted, so s1 will be called as surplus variable. Okay, so the slack variable and surplus variable are clear how to use it. Okay, let me move ahead. Now the last one is artificial variable. So basically when we will be having mixed type of constraint, let's say less than type, greater than type, equal to type, or the combination of these, then this is known as mixed type of problem. Then we have to use various method, and the standard methods available are the Big M method and the two-phase method. So in the Big M method and two-phase method, we need to to get the initial basic feasible solution, we introduce new variable which are known as artificial variable, which has no physical meaning, but they are just introduced to get the initial basic feasible solution. So these are the artificial variable. Okay, so is it clear? I have discussed here three variables. One is slack variable, second one is surplus variable, and the last one is the artificial variable. Okay, we will discuss these later on when we will be studying various methods of linear programming problem. I think I have discussed this slide before, right? Oh, okay, this slide. Okay. So here it has been discussed with the example I have already told you, so there is no need to discussion over this slide. So this is clear. Now come to the duality. Okay, so I'm just giving you the basic introduction part of the linear programming problem. So what is duality? Okay, let me discuss this. What is duality? For every linear programming problem, there is a related unique LP problem involving some data which also describe the original problem. So for every linear programming, there is a related unique LP problem involving some data which also describe the original problem. The primal program is written by transposing the rows and column of the algebraic statement of the problem. So what is the meaning of the duality? So when we will convert the original program into its deformed state, because what is the need of the duality and why do we need to convert the primal into dual? Actually, suppose a problem is given which is having m constraint, and the same problem which is having 2m constraint. So if the problem is having a large number of constraints, then it becomes very difficult to solve a problem using computational technique, because it takes a lot of time. Suppose the problem is having m constraint, then and another one is having 2m constraint, means double, just double. Then to then the time will be 2 to the power 3, means 8 times. This problem will be having 8 times more time than the previous one. Okay, so to save the time, we convert primal into dual and solve the problem using the standard method. And the dual variable. So when we convert primal into dual, the number of variables are converted into constant, and number of constants are converted into the number of variables. Okay, and if the objective function is of maximization type in the primal, then in the dual it will be of minimization type. Okay, and all the constant will be converted into the variable, and all the variable will be converted into the constant. So every LP has a unique LP problem involves some data also describes the optimal problem. The primal program is written by transposing the rows and column of the algebraic statement of the problem. Okay, the variable of the dual program are known as the dual variable or the shadow price of the various resources. So when we get the variable of dual, then these are called as the shadow price, and the optimal solution of the dual problem give complete information about the optimal solution of the primal problem and vice versa. Okay, what are various advantages I have discussed? Now I will discuss sensitivity later on. Okay, so this was for today lecture. I will discuss the remaining in the next lecture.